It's not for the voice, is it? There's no way. This guy's so pathetic, dude.
Hey, Kronos. We have to file a legal complaint against that dude earlier.
What?
Pause this for a moment.
You use my voice line in a way that mocks me? I'm a DMCA, you f***ing Get Pirate Software is in hot water again. Now, there's two aspects here. Well, there's 2.5. We'll do 2 today and see how we feel in the next couple of days if we want to do the 0.5, okay? The first is to do with him lying about EVE Online, which is a longer video that we'll get to in a bit, okay? Thank you for the Prime sub. Now, the other thing, that this is newer, I believe,
Brandon Ferrantino,
is someone is now claiming in the last 24 hours that Pirate Software has false DMCA'd an indie dev and threatened to sue. Huh? I thought this was the guy that liked to prop up smaller creators and smaller game developers. Well, let's hope he's got a damn good reason for filing a DMCA. They're calling it false. If this gets a bit game developy, I'm not sure if I'm going to know what's going on, but that hasn't stopped us with Pirate Software before. So let's find out what's going on.
Brandon Ferrantino is developing idle streaming bonanza. Play as your favorite content creators like Moki Payne, Asmund Silver, and CQX. It's a streamer drama parody game where you match button prompts, watch the bits drop, and feed the brain rot. Each level's a time capsule of live stream fails greatest hits. There's Dr. Disrespect's grooming allegations, Pokemon
Dr. Diddles. Dude, this looks funny.
capsule of live stream fails greatest hits. There's Dr. Disrespect's
Dr. Diddles. That's cool. That's fun. That's funny.
grooming allegations, Pokemon and her expensive cookies
Pokemon in-game reference with a cookie. Yeah, okay, this is fun.
make a showing, and XQC being an odd dude as a reference to XQC being an odd dude. Ferrantino's newest level referenced another big streamer named PirateSoftware. Now for context, PirateSoftware
Oh my god, has he struck them for like using his likeness in some parody game or something over the recent drama? Is that what this is? Does it link into the recent drama as well? Oh my god, I hope it does, dude. Please.
is a developer, hacker, gamer person who runs a ferret rescue, encourages people to get into game development, and boasts an impressive resume from working at Blizzard during its glory days to hacking for the United States Department of Energy. As far as nerds go, he's seen as the
By the way, it's probably not going to get into it. I've not looked into it in any meaningful way, but it's claimed that even that has been overstated. That this idea that he like worked at hacking for the Department of Energy, okay, is overblown. And apparently he worked for like a contractor that was doing some work for them or something along those lines.
cream of the crop. But some of that cream's dissolved due to, well, it depends on who you ask, I suppose. Some don't like how he appeals to his own authority or misrepresents arguments when he's in the wrong. Others don't like how he doubles, triples, or even quadruples down when he's in the wrong. And some don't like the double standards he applies to himself and others when he's in the wrong. It's not the being in the wrong that people don't seem to like. It's how he mishandles it, and how these events clash with his wise and role model persona people have come to know him for. That's why I stress at every opportunity that I am a scumbag and manage his expectations. The event Ferrantino chose to immortalize in his game referenced the hardcore World of Warcraft raid drama, where Pirate Software abandoned his team, referred to as roaching out, and was later removed for his behavior following the incident.
Okay.
The level is called Irate Hardware. A wizard-hatted cockroach squirms in a gaming chair, and a voice line from Pirate Software's stream can be heard.
Oh,
As much as you're angry right now, of course I ran.
no way.
Ferrantino then posted a clip of his game to the live stream.
No, there's no way it is what I think it is. For the voice. It's not for the voice, is it? It's not for the voice, is it? There's no way. This guy's so pathetic, dude. For the voice. There's no way that won't be fair use. That's impossible. A short clip of someone's voice. There's no way. There's no way.
Stream fails subreddit titled "He Put Pirate Software Drama in His Indie Game." In turn, Pirate Software issued a DMCA takedown notice to Valve. This developer is using clips of my voice without my permission. As displayed on the developer's live stream, my voice is being used in this game.
Dude! So he is abusing. So this is plain copyright abuse. This is 100% plain and simple copyright abuse. He's not doing this because What is being infringed exactly? What is he losing out on here? Right? This is easily fair use. A small snippet of a soundbite in a video game. What is this taking away from him? What value is he getting out of that clip apparently not being seen because it's the clip in the game? It doesn't make any fucking sense, dude. This is honestly absolutely despicable and indicative of the kind of character that Pirate Software is. How obscene this is, that he's fucking with a small developer making like a tiny indie game purely because he's got a massive fucking ego and he can't hack being mocked. It's fucking gross, dude.
Developer does not have the right to use my voice. Included a link to the Twitch clip. The game was taken down. Plot twist, the Steam version of the game didn't...
That's insane. Valve has received a DMCA copyright takedown notice directed at your game on Steam. A copy of the notice is set forth at the end of this game. Jason Thorwall alleges that they hold the copyrights to their voice found here and that your use of their voice without their authorization infringes on their rights. Fucking hell, man. Literally fucking with a small game developer's business. Does anyone know if he's responded to this shit? Okay. That's just disgraceful.
To the Twitch clip. The game was taken down. Plot twist, the Steam version of the game didn't actually have Pirate Software's voice in it. The Twitch clip was of the developer's personal build, not the marketplace build. Ferrantino filed a counter notice to get his game reinstated. He also sent a support ticket to Pirate Software and his team directly to tell them his voice was not in the game.
Oh, I see. So his voice wasn't even in the game. So he saw a clip, freaked out, filed it against Steam. So it's even worse because he's not even checked. And so the material he's claiming is infringing isn't even in the game. So it's a totally bunk claim. So he has completely misused this tool erroneously to get this game taken down without cause. Oh, dude. No way. How does he recover from this? Bro, it's so funny coming back and then this story. I didn't know what this was going to be. And it spun off of the Roach drama. And it's him further spurging out about it. His motto is, go out and create games, but that only applies until the game parodies his own incompetence. Yes, exactly.
And he asked for the DMCA takedown notice to be withdrawn. Mid-livestream, Pirate Software spoke about receiving the counter notice and expressed his intent to sue the developer.
Hey, Kronos, we have to file a legal complaint against that dude earlier.
What?
I'll pause this for a moment.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money?
That is
people.
His lack of self-awareness is so apparent. No other streamer is cares, but his fragile ego drives him to file a false DMCA claim over nothing.
Thank you for the super chat. That is insane. This dude's done literally nothing wrong. Literally nothing wrong. And now he's making legal threats against him.
There was a dude earlier today that went onto Reddit and said that he was using my voice in a video game, showed a bunch of videos of it, and then put that game up on Steam. A lot of people in the thread told him not to do that, that would end up being a legal problem for him. He did it anyway. So
did they? Did they say that? If they did, they're idiots. Even if that was true, it would be absolutely fair use and protected under like parody as well.
I filed a DMCA claim, and he has now filed a counterclaim against me. We're going to take you to court. You're going to lose. You cannot use somebody's likeness or voice in any way inside of your games without their permission. It's a really stupid thing to do. Incredibly so.
Bro, do you know who he reminds me of? Billy Mitchell. It's like Billy Mitchell when he took that cartoon to court for using their likeness of him when it was like a parody of him. He's like Billy Mitchell, dude. Oh my God. I don't even think this is right. I don't think this is true. I think if you're a public figure, like as long as the name and stuff is different, they could look similar to you.
Okay, that's
and also it's a roach, it's a little cockroach.
Money off depressed people.
Dude, he is fucked. Please, please, please tell me that people have been reacting to this and calling him out for this. Please tell me that this is further putting pressure on him. I must know that he's getting further destroyed by this.
I'm going to send this over to Kronos now because he is a lawyer in copyright law. That is his job. Mistake. Kronos, we have 14 days to respond to this.
Sweep it up, Johnny.
Forwarded. Welcome to the finding out timeline, bud.
Dude, all he had to say was, I'm really sorry I didn't realise. I was overreacting anyway. Leave it at that. But instead he can't back down. He ratchets it up again.
Brandon Ferrantino responded in a YouTube video and reiterated he did nothing unlawful on Steam.
I showed one video of a possible build or a concept and put it on Reddit. The game, that concept or what's on my machine was not on Reddit. There's no build of him ever on Reddit.
And ironically, he Streisand's the game more with that shit.
True, this is going to just promote his game. There's probably loads of people downloading it now.
Or on Steam. There's no data in my game of him on Steam. There's no active build with him on it. So he's chasing fucking goods.
Unfortunately for Pirate Software, it's a case of being confidently wrong. In America, we have very strong free speech laws. It's the First Amendment, for God's sake. This is not as cut and dry as you can't use someone's likeness or voice without permission. Although that does get spread around a lot, but you'd think people on the internet who use Twitch and YouTube would see Twitch and YouTube as enough evidence that there's more nuance to the matter. You have to consider fair use defenses and good faith activities by alleged copyright infringers. This was upheld in the Lens vs. Universal Music Court trial, in which a woman was hit with a DMCA takedown notice for using 29 seconds of bad audio from a Prince song in a baby video.
Oh,
the final ruling on that.
Bro. God, these companies are deranged, aren't they? Oh, we can't have that. Someone might listen to that instead of buying the CD.
Matter. Copyright holders cannot shirk their duty to consider, in good faith and prior to sending a takedown notification, whether allegedly infringing material constitutes fair use, a use which the DMCA plainly contemplates as authorized by the law. Pirate Software did not consider fair use. He didn't even play the demo. If he had, he would have known his voice was not in the Steam Marketplace version of the game. Therefore, he sent an unlawful DMCA takedown notice, and that opens him up to be sued.
Oh.
I asked Mr. Ferrantino if he asked Pirate Software or Kronos if they played the game. He said they responded that's neither here nor there. It's very much here and there because beyond the existence of a perceived infringement, you have to consider what's the nature of the work, critique, review, education, etc. Is it transformative enough? How much was used? 41 seconds, by the way. How important is what was used? Does it have an impact on original market value? Is it misappropriating his likeness for an advertisement? It's not as plain cut as, you used my voice, I didn't say you could, now I can sue you. Now keep in mind, I'm not a free speech defense lawyer out of Connecticut that steps in from time to time to help content creators pro bono when their freedom of speech is being...
Wait, what is this? Oh, this is Pirate's response. God, he's so fucking pathetic, dude. Okay.
being impeded, but Mario is, and he says Pirate Software's false DMCA takedown notice of idle streaming bonanza was unlawful. I spoke with him. Mario happened upon Ferrantino's video talking about the false claim, and did not like that someone with a large and impressionable audience was spreading free speech misinformation. He also did not appreciate the lawsuit bully tactics. I quote, "It pissed me right the fuck off." So Mario reached out to Brandon Ferrantino and took him on as a client free of charge. He made a formal demand to Pirate Software's team to withdraw the DMCA takedown notice within 24 hours, and it seems to have worked because the game is back on the Steam Marketplace.
Hey, it worked! Let's go! That's based.
There is some charity that can be given to Pirate Software. He is a big streamer, and big streamers rely on their mod team to keep things running smoothly, so it's possible he relied on secondhand information in good faith and thought his voice was actually in the game. I reached out to Pirate Software and Kronos for comment on January 24th and 25th respectively. I will update the article in the Substack if and when either responds. The only thing left currently is seeing if things end here between Pirate Software and the developer. There are consequences for false DMCA takedown notices, but Brandon Ferrantino and Mario would have to actively pursue it in court. Ultimately, in these cases, the court fees tend to outweigh the damages, so who knows where this ends up. The two have said they will release a formal statement in about 2 weeks. Thank you for reading, listening, watching. Have a nice day.
Dude, that is insane, though. Just utterly pathetic behavior from Pirate Software.
To video.
Okay, let's have a look at Pirate's response then and see what he's got to say about this. He responded further on Twitter from the looks of it. Okay, here we go. New piece is live. Big streamer unlawfully DMCA'd small indie dev and threatened to sue. Good Samaritan lawyer sets him right pro bono. The DMCA was absolutely not unlawful. The DMCA was not absolutely not unlawful. I can't do the voice. We filed a DMCA in response to the developer claiming that he put the voice in his video game in a playable build, and he showed evidence of this on a video via a Reddit thread. He was told by many others that doing this was not legally advisable and decided to move forward anyway in another thread he made about this here. When we filed the DMCA, he then went on to state all of this was bait in an effort to boost his game. You can see this on his YouTube video here. We took down the DMCA notice as we reached out and stated that it would be voice acting these lines instead. You're spreading misinformation in a biased form to generate views with how this with the legal route is appropriate. Dude, there's video footage. There's video footage of you acting like an obnoxious prick about it and threatening him with more lawsuits. What are you on about, dude? This guy, he cannot take a fucking L. It's impossible. It's literally impossible for this dude. He can't do it. It's physically impossible. And also, this is complete bullshit and not what happened at all. We literally just watched the clips. Honestly, what I think originally happened is that Pirate saw the thread, read through those dumb Reddit comments, and thought we actually had a legal case off Reddit. Classic Reddit legal analysis. Oh shit, this guy's going off. Pirate Software's a narcissist. You signed off that you were the copyright owner of material that was not in the game without checking or considering fair use, bait or not.
How do I make money off depressed people?
Cybertaz became a member. Cybertaz celebrates 2 months of membership. He bleats in Drama Llama. Why do these people only consult a lawyer after they do their pride flag opts? Laughs in Sid Alpha.
Thank you very much for the sub. Appreciate it. Okay. Yep. Yeah. I acknowledge that under Section 512F of the DMCA, any person who knowingly materially misrepresent the material activity is infringing may be liable for damages. Fucking hell, dude. Yep. That's crazy. I asked a free speech defense lawyer for their wording. They said it was unlawful. As for the bias and misinformation
that's
remark.
Wonderful. But how do I make money?
Thank you for the prime sub. Memes. Thank you. As for the bias and misinformation remark, I reached out to all parties involved. I showed the Reddit thread you linked. I showed the video. I showed your stream VOD. I linked to them all. I even said charity could be given to you because maybe you relied on secondhand information. Dude, this guy, I don't normally talk about ratios, but I mean, this guy this guy's got like tons of followers, hasn't he? Oh fuck, I forgot he blocked me. He's got 337,000 followers. How many's this guy got? Forward fit. Yo! Absolutely raped. Yeah, I mean, this seems pretty clear cut to me. Yeah. You are now a lolcow. Very true. Very true. Anyway, that is, I guess, the first part of the latest Pirate Software updates that I wanted to get into. So that's part one, the completely bogus and bullshit
Welcome
DMCA.
to Chud Nation.
Has it been 3 years already?
Thank you. Thank you. Wow, 3 years is crazy. Thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. Okay. Let's get into the other part of the Pirate Software updates that I wanted to get into.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
I mean, if he consulted the right lawyer, he could have gotten a bump of nose candy or a ticket to ride his wife.
Possibly. Thank you very much for the $5. Appreciate it. Nothing I could do. I was out of mana. We hit the goal. Dude, actually, that's made me think. So, with that in mind, then, these other people that have copyright struck me are also in breach of this as well, aren't they? They must be, because they've misrepresented the nature of the content used and claimed it's in the whole video. So they're also in breach of whatever this thing is. I've already sent them an email. I'll send them another one and make some sort of threat, and I'll say, like, listen, sort this out in 24 hours. You're in breach of this terms of the DMCA or something like that. Tell them to get fucked. We're going to win. We will win, ladies and gentlemen. We will win, okay? Right. So the second aspect to this. Check with you. No, I'll be fine. I'll say I've consulted my legal team. No, I'll be fine. I'll just say it. It'll be okay. So, ladies and gentlemen,
ladies and gentlemen, one of the biggest...
This is a longer video. Now, I'm very invested. I've been very invested in the Pirate Software drama, and I've obviously covered it extensively. Now, I was worried that there was going to be no more, because for some reason, whilst I was off, this Pirate Software content, like, popped off and did really well for the channel. And I've had great fun covering it. So, we've now got some new Pirate Software drama related to his dishonesty about another game. Another game. EVE Online. Now, I don't know much about EVE Online, but I have heard this sort of like rumor that apparently he has been very misrepresentative. Extremely misrepresentative of his experience and stuff on there. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but just vaguely it's like he acts like he was some big shot in this MMO EVE Online, and he was so like infamous that the developers of the game were trying to hunt him down or something like that. I'm sure it's going to get into it. But anyway, without any further ado, let's see what's going on. Apparently, Pirate Software lied about EVE Online. Let's find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the biggest creators in all of creatordom has been lying about something to do with EVE Online. And I have firsthand knowledge to tell you what that lie is and what actually happened. I am talking, of course, about someone you might recognize. Yep, this is Pirate Software, also known to the EVE community as Maldavius. Okay, we're going to talk about what's happened, what actually happened, and why this kind of stuff hurts the majority of EVE players, this kind of lies being said and purported. We're going to talk about it, okay? So
we were Triglavians, triangle people, right? Aliens. And this is a faction inside of the game. We decided as players to align ourselves with this, and we moved all over the game for about 1 year, traveling around with no home, going and fighting this war that went on to turn certain areas of space into lawless land, right? And we went all over the place.
It is faster to list the things this roach did not lie about.
Very true, indeed. Thank you for the super chat. Also, there was I'm probably not going to get into it because I've covered it so fucking extensively. I watched some of the Ethan Klein coverage. That was very entertaining.
Took all these different stars, and it was fun. It was super awesome, but we didn't really have a home. We never had a place to live, and having ownership over your space in EVE is kind of a big deal. So when we got...
So if you don't know what the heck he's talking about, if you're a brand new EVE player, he's talking about the founding of Pochvin. He's talking about the founding of the Triglavian area in space. These star systems used to be in high sec. I think there was maybe one in low sec. I don't remember. It's been a long time. It's been a couple years. These systems were basically in flux between becoming Pochvin or not, and the players could choose which ones would go into Pochvin, roughly speaking, by fighting for the Triglavian, aligning themselves with the Triglavian collective. With that...
Okay, can anyone explain this in Call of Duty terms? I'm a bit confused. It's too right. Okay, whatever. There's some area. You can get in there somehow, buy some route. Something like that. I don't fucking know this.
Side that reputation, okay? The star systems ended up becoming Pochvin, and that's this triangle. And we say it's a triangle because there's a lot of like triangle stuff to do with.
They made Warzone map in space. Got it.
Pochvin, a lot of their reactors, their like little mini suns are housed in like.
But how do I make money off depressed people?
Will you go through the Maldavius Second Life stuff? Looked it up when you said to and my mouth was to the floor. Glad you're back.
I have gone through it before. Maybe we'll take a look. I need to. Yeah, well, not today, but at some point we can maybe bring that together. Because also he's apparently issued harassment strikes or harassment claims via YouTube against people. So
like a triangle matrix. What's the thing from Avengers? You know what I'm talking about? Tesseract. It's housed in like a triangle tesseract, stuff like that. The literal star system is in the shape of a triangle. That's why some of you watching are like,
Laura, what's up with all the triangles, bro?
This is just part of the lore. That's that. So this is about the founding of Pochfin. This Pirate Software guy is Maldavius. That's his character name in the game, and he and many other people fought for the founding of Pochfin. Let's keep listening.
Got 27 stars. Those stars formed into a place in space, a pocket dimension called Pochfin that looked like this. And we owned a full third of this, because as we had been taking these stars, we were dropping structures in them. And when it moved into Pochfin, those structures stayed. And now they couldn't be replaced. If a structure gets destroyed in Pochfin, it never comes back. You can never...
This is unique to Pochfin. Okay, this is a unique thing to Pochfin. It's very important because this is literally why the entire thing we're about to listen to happened. They were placing structures in these star systems before they went into Pochfin, before they like regressed into this like subsystem area into Pochfin itself, right? We're placing structures, we're doing these things, and once it becomes Pochfin, you can't place any more structures. This is a rule in Pochfin. It's one of the things that makes the area unique and different.
Okay.
By just admitting fault.
yes, exactly. He can't do it. Thank you for the super chat. So there's stars, and then when this Pochfin place gets formed, the stars that you are like fighting over form this area, and he's trying to claim that because of like clever forward thinking, he's put these structures in these stars, and he's claiming that when it then formed this thing, they controlled a third of it. Is that it? Any Eve player? Is that more or less roughly like what we're dealing with? Okay. So on the face of it, that sounds unbelievable because presumably there's lots of different players that are fighting for this area. And it just seems very unbelievable that they would be so successful that they control a third of this new area that gets created. Thousands of players. Right, okay. Or you're in a team together. Okay, I think I get it.
From say nullsec or even wormhole space, because Pochfin, you can't place structures. This is a big deal. If we have non-Eve players doing this, placing structures gives you not just a foothold, it doesn't just give you staging or a foothold, it is a massive deal because it gives your entire corp a place to be. There's more stuff you can do. You can dictate tax rates. There's a lot of things you can do from a player-owned station comparatively to an NPC-owned station that anybody can just come in. You can even set who can dock in the station if you own it, if your corp alliance owns it. So if we have non-Eve players watching this, a corp is a guild, and an alliance is a group of corporations, a group of guilds. An alliance is a big thing, a corp is a smaller thing, still big depending on what we're talking about, okay? So,
Anchor a new one, it's gone. So these were unique, and we were the powerhouse that owned that space. The problem was this: it didn't work. It was broken. When we got to that section of space, they had one piece of content. This was called a dread site raid. The dread sites, for the first 2 or 3 months, did not function. Imagine going into a raid with 15 people, and you kill the boss, and then afterwards, the boss gives you negative reputation and negative money. That's what happened, and every week we would talk to the devs, and every week they would try to get us to test it on live servers again with our...
Okay, so first thing, this is correct. This is what happened. When Pochfin became its own thing, when the star systems in HiSec went to Pochfin, when Pochfin was established, the dread sites he's talking about, which would become / whatever, are the observatory flashpoints today, and other similar sites, whatever. These sites were broken. They would not function correctly. The NPCs were weird. You would get negative rep. This is a big deal. You might say negative rep, who cares? Because you see that this is all these star systems. Imagine all of these are little dots that make up this triangle-shaped star system. The gates, you couldn't activate the star gates unless you had a certain reputation.
Okay.
So the sites in the area would stop.
Okay, I've got to be honest. This is... my brain is exploding a little bit here. Okay, we're going to get through this. because I hate Pirate Software and I want to know how he's lied about this, okay? But I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, dude. It's too autismo. It sounds super complicated, yeah. Bro, I just want to drop into fucking Urzikstan and you know, play some Battle Royale. What is all this, dude?
You from navigating around the area. This was not intended. This was not like a part of the game. That's too, that would be too tedious. And that was not part of the game. Okay, so everything he's saying is correct so far. The first thing I want to talk about is something he ended with just now.
Negative reputation and negative money. That's what happened. And every week we would talk to the devs, and every week they would try to get us to test it on live servers again with our live characters for 2.5 to 3 months. We lost 70% of our online players.
I'm going to get to the 70% number in just a sec. So the devs did work with players to try to help see what the problem was. I want you to, this is my first issue with this video. I want you to see how he's describing this. There's a lot of bitterness. There's a lot of, I'm going to call it entitlement for some from some of the stuff he says later in the video. This is my first problem with this. I understand it's frustrating. This is frustrating. We're going to say this a bunch of times in this video. You work really hard to establish an area of space. The areas in the space that have these sites to play.
Good morning, Chud. Just had the best night's sleep of my life after discovering your Chudstiny Dr. K manifesto.
Hey!
Thank you.
Thank you, that was great. That was great. Classic. The moment I realised that putting effort into shit is a waste of time. Thank you very much for the super chats.
Play these things to do, and they're broken. That is frustrating. We all agree, we all understand. The devs are asking for your help. What game happens like that? The devs are QAing on their side. They're also working with the players to see, literally show me what's wrong. This is not a bad thing. This is a good thing. But how he says it is like, and the devs got us to test it on live. It doesn't have a good spirit to it. It doesn't have a cooperative spirit to it. I understand he's frustrated. A lot of people back in the day.
Right, I see. So he's trying to present this as if the devs are like useless morons. But actually, it's quite common in MMOs, from what I can gather then, that there's like a backwards and forwards between the developers and the players. And that's in service of trying to make it better and trying to move forward, basically. Is that right? It's reasonable to expect software to not be broken on release. Yeah, but MMOs are like exceptionally complex, and from what I gather, they can do QA, but putting out live, that's when it can get complicated because of the sheer amount of players that engage with the content that I'm guessing you can't really replicate in a QA scenario. Is that right? Is that how it works? I don't fucking play MMOs, so I don't really know. So you could put something out and it's like, right, we've QA'd this with how many people you got, maxed out QA team. We think this is going to work. And you put it out and the sheer strain of all the players trying to use it, it's like, and it just fucks. And you're like, right, where's the problem? And then you talk to the players, you try and figure it out, and then you try and move forward. Okay. Oh, also, yeah, that's true as well. A player will... So this is, yeah. You can QA a game until you're blue in the face, but then the player will come along and they'll do something that is totally bizarre, that is totally outside of what anyone thought of, that will break the game in some way. And then you need to figure out a fix for that. Yes. Oh my god. It's like, I know about this. I watched the Half-Life commentary that they just put out on Half-Life 2. And there's a bit in the game where you're supposed to stack the boxes up and then you jump out the window when you leave Barney for the first time. And in playtesting, there was one player who they'd get the boxes and chuck them all out of the window for some reason. And they hadn't thought of that. They hadn't thought that a player would chuck all the boxes out the window. So they had to put a kind of dirty fix in, because changing it too much would fuck the game up, apparently. Where if you chuck all the boxes out, one automatically spawns behind you. Right, okay. So it's like that, basically. That can happen too. And then it's like, well, why would someone do that well, now someone's done it. We need to figure out a fix for that in case someone else decides to do that, right? Okay. Dude, see? I'm not as unknowing about this as I thought, eh? Let's go.
They were very frustrated with Pochfin. But to say this like, you know, the devs made us test it live, that's a good thing that the devs actually gave a crap to sit down and work with you in some extent instead of like just giving you a stiff arm and not talking to you at all. So it's better than having no communication. That's my first point here. So let's keep, this is not why I wanted to make this video. Let's keep talking. Okay.
For 2.5 to 3 months. We lost 70% of our online players. About half of these people never came back. It was a goddamn mess. And we got pissed. And eventually they finally fixed it, but then they put a target on our back.
Yeah, and before we get to the target, and before we get to, you know, this happened too. 70% of the players quit. Of course they did. Look, chat, if you work for months to establish an area of space, you know EVE is about the stories, okay? EVE is about the player-driven stories. It's not the devs necessarily giving the overarching narrative. It's one of the things that makes EVE Online unique and special. Devs put in place this system where, hey, you can help corrupt these systems and put them into this different area of space, and you helped make it. And then that happens. They work really hard, it gets to that point, and then the main ISK faucet, the main like money generator in the area is broken. 70% of the players left. Now, I don't know if this number is accurate, but I can tell you that I believe this number. I believe this number because this is frickin' ridiculous. It is. Here's my first big point. 70% of the players quit. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're playing a video game, and this is a video game, EVE Online, and this, even if you work for a couple months to like establish something, if the sites are broken, submit a bug report and go to a different area of space. Okay? I just said something that's very unpopular with a lot of EVE players. There's this, I fought for this, I worked for this, I'm gonna make this work even if it's broken. Ladies and gentlemen, we are discussing a video game, okay? I care about all of you watching, both live and on the VOD.
Oh, also, the other thing to bear in mind as well, this guy is supposed to be, I just didn't even conceive of this. This guy is supposed to be a game developer. So he should know, from working at fucking Blizzard, he should know that this is a common dynamic as much as he touts his experience. And now here he is, you know, as far as I can tell, smearing these game developers for like no good reason, acting like they were fucking incompetent, didn't know what they were doing. When he should know the difficulty of this and be way more, you know, sympathetic to what they're trying to do. Jesus Christ, dude. This guy is such a pathetic... He's so pathetic, dude. He's so pathetic. And all of this is in the service of fueling his own ego as well. That's the sole purpose of this. Purely to fuel his own ego. That's all he's interested in.
I want you to understand that games are supposed to be something we enjoy. It's supposed to be something we do to entertain ourselves, to hang out with our buddies. And if you're punishing yourself by being in an area of space where stuff's broken and everybody's leaving, isn't everybody leaving sign that maybe you, as the head of an alliance, should take your people and leave? I think so. Now, I'm not an alliance head, but I have been a GM in World of Warcraft and other guilds in the past and other games in the past. If I'm watching my player base leave, I'm not going to make an executive decision to stay and suffer through all of this. I'm going to say, hey guys, we need to go to a different area of space because this is not working. Because it's, my goal is the joy of the people that are under me, not banging my head against the wall just for the sake of it. And then the spirit of this, of what he's saying, blaming CCP games for people leaving.
As Big Bungie so eloquently put it about Bobby, this guy exhales lies.
Thank you very much for the super chats.
To be clear, it's their bug. They gotta fix it. It's their game, they gotta fix it. But if there's a bug, submit a bug report. If it's that bad, go to another area of space. EVE Online is the biggest MMO, I think. Probably is. In terms of amount of content, you could do a new activity in EVE every day for the next year, and there's still be plenty of content to do. Jump clones are a thing. You're correct, Cyber. So now, to be the devil's advocate, you work this hard to establish something in space, to do all this work, to finally, like you're the founding, one of the founding Pochfin alliances, Pochfin corporations. Then the sites don't work. That is frustrating. I'll give him that. But, well, let's keep listening.
and eventually they finally fixed it, but then they put a target on our back because they have this thing inside of EVE Online called the Economic Report. The Economic Report actually tells you how much money each area of space actually makes, and they finally released the Economic Report 1 month after they fixed our area of space. So imagine 3 months of the game just being shit and us being broke and nothing working, and then 1 month later they release an economic report after they fix everything, and now everyone thinks we've been making a shitload of money in a pocket of space that no one can touch us in? Yeah, and no other player will believe you because it's EVE Online. So yeah, that sucked. So that...
Okay. Okay.
So he's just being a braggart again, right? I mean, this sounds like complete bullshit. This just... I don't know anything about this game. This sounds like fucking nonsense. This is like classic kid in the playground telling you a bunch of shit that isn't true to try and impress you. Stuff, right?
The monthly economic report, the MER, is something that happens. CCP Games did not include, it sounds like based on his story, CCP Games did not, the devs did not include Pochfin in the MER prior to them fixing it, or when they included it in there, I don't remember, I haven't found it, it's been years. The income in the area was so low, no one was looking at it. This MER is looked at by a lot, if not all, of the top corps, top alliances, because it shows where the ISK is in the game. We literally just covered last month's MER, thanks to Oz, thanks very much Oz, over on our Patreon, okay? Because it's a long video, it's kind of droll, it's not the best for YouTube, so I made sure to give you the best value over on our Patreon. That's what we do. This, listen to what he says. They fixed Pochfin. They include it in the MER, in the ER, in the economic report. I'm going to call it the MER. People then see there's a lot of money to be made, so this put a target on our back. Do you hear the entitlement here? I understand you worked hard to make this happen, but just because you worked hard,
But did he even work hard to make it happen? That doesn't sound right either. I think he's giving him too much credit. Okay, apparently there's some comments here. Issue is he wasn't a founding member of Pochfin, if I'm saying that right. His group got stomped regularly by most other groups. They got farmed by the pirates that rolled through and out-farmed by the Chinese. Dude! The Chinese are always coming out on top. You're never going to beat the Chinese at MMOs. They're too locked in. They're too locked into the game, if you know what I mean. They didn't have any manner of control that he pretends to have. Okay. I'm not an EVE player, so when I saw Pirates video before, it seemed logical and made sense to me, and he had my sympathy. But now with this new information, as well as a second opinion on the events and how the game works, really sheds new light on everything. Thank you for making things clearer. Dude! Yes! Return of the... Yes! Dude, we're winning. We're winning the fucking PSYOP war on the PirateSoftware fans. Bro threw away everything over ego. He knows everything about everything. It's so annoying. Habitual exaggerator and basically liar. I was extremely unhappy with him about how dismissive of Pochfin he was because I lived there. Thought I was alone till this vid, thank you. Okay. So we got farmed just like a shithouse clan of World of Warcraft that we watched. What a surprise. Dude, this is crazy. Okay. Right. Okay. I'm not reading. This one looks like it's defending him, and I'm not reading all that. I'll read this one, though. Him saying it was his decision to burn everything actually mirrors quite well how he says about winning DEF CON, biggest hacker convention in the US. He basically said that it was him who won DEF CON 23-24, while he was part of a team of 9 people, but he never mentioned them and their contributions. Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right.
to make something happen, you
Address the harmful opinion, content stealing allegations. I got no idea.
Okay, that's wonderful.
I'm
But how do I
clueless.
make
Clueless
money off
as to what the
press
fuck you're talking about.
Swag Bob Money Pants became a member. Swag Bob Money Pants celebrates 4 months of membership. This is the equivalent of Aiden claiming to lead the squad to victory in Warzone.
Very true. Very true. Thank you very much.
ladies and gentlemen, here's my first big point here. You are entitled to nothing in EVE Online. Nothing. I don't care how much you've done. I don't care how hard you've worked. I don't care how long you've played the game. I've been playing since 2008, on and off. You are entitled to nothing. You have to keep fighting tooth and claw to get your stuff. That is the nature of the beast. It is one of the main things that makes the game special, that you can't do it alone. So you are forced then to group up with people and get allegiances, get alliances, get friends. As the CEO of CCP Games says, the best ship is the friend ship. And through adversity, you get these groups together, you get these people. If the entire game sees that Pochfin is now fixed and there's a bunch of IST to be made, that does not mean that the devs are painting a target on your back. See what I'm saying? See the spirit of this. This is not what happened. If the MER comes out and a bunch of
right, so he's claiming that he deserves some sort of like special protection, or maybe more so that it's unreasonable that a target is painted on his back because he's put the hard work into building this, only for stuff to come out that then other people want to come and farm it. But it's like, you're just a player, bro. Even if this was true, you're not entitled to anything. You're just another player like anyone else. Okay. I didn't want to admit I am wrong, since I thought the WoW thing was stupid in general, but this video is damning. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, whether it's the World of Warcraft stuff, whether it's the Path of Exile 2 stuff, I think it was, and what was it? That fucking thing that he accidentally pulled. I can't remember the name of it. The Ocular. Whether it's the DMCA thing, whether it's whatever the fuck this is, which I still don't fully understand, but I'm kind of getting it, right? Every single thing is the same.
Money off depressed people?
Exactly, Chud. Eve is like Spreadsheet, the game the devs made a unicorn of a game and he slanders them.
Yeah. It is being a braggart, over-talking your abilities, being unable to back down when you're wrong, right? And normally smearing someone in a completely unreasonable way. In this case, the developers of the game, who, from what I can tell, seem to be just doing their best to make a fun game for everyone to play. Maybe not perfectly, but they're doing the best they can, I guess. Maldavius Fig Tree. Oh! Don't say the full name. Don't say the full name. You'll get in trouble. Watch out.
Is to be made. That doesn't mean that they're saying, hey, this guy and his alliance, go get him. CCP Games are very correctly saying, hey, we fixed the thing that was broken. It's an endgame area that's built around smaller gangs.
A braggart. Oh, just someone who, like, excessively and outwardly brags about themselves in a very obnoxious fashion. Something like that.
We've talked about that in past videos. Nullsec, very quickly, if there are non-E players coming in, the edges of the map are null security. You can fly the biggest ships in that area, capital ships. These are the size of small moons, and they take literal raid groups to take out. You literally become a raid boss if you're a WoW player, okay? If you fly capital ships. In Pochfin, in the Triangle, you cannot make capital ships anymore. I have a couple. We're gonna have that content, okay? But you can't make them anymore inside of Pochfin. Basically, if you have a capital ship, and I do in Pochfin, they're the last of their kind. Look for that content, Chad. It's gonna be a good time. Point is, CCP Games saying, hey, the endgame area that was broken is now fixed. Has nothing to do with this guy. Okay? Right. Does it affect them? Yeah. Welcome to EVE Online. If you're in a lucrative area, you have to defend it.
Right.
See what I'm saying? You see the difference in thinking, okay?
Yeah.
Instead of this video being, hey, wait, let me do what he does, okay?
So, they released an economic report.
Bro!
And,
I love the fact that this, like, guy who's, like, explained all this crazy lore to me has just absolutely mocked him in one move. That is based.
There's a bunch of ISK to be made. And now, we have a bunch more PvP fights. We have to defend the area, and it's a lot of fun. And now we get to do.
That's wonderful.
We're going to talk about why there were some problems, but if the...
Yes.
The very public and degenerate furry zoophile life of Walt Dimitty.
Yes, exactly that. Okay. Yeah. This guy's funny. I get it. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be enjoyable, and he's turning it into this chore, all to brag about his own knowledge and experience in something, which he doesn't indeed. Fuck this guy, seriously.
Spirit of the video was like, look, now we get to have a bunch of PvP fights. Now there's more fun. I would not be making this video, but because the spirit of this is, look how the devs are hurting us. That's, you're exactly right, just Gamer. It's so funny. That's good. That's why we're talking about this. And we're going to talk, the lie still hasn't been said. We're going to talk about it. Let's rewind slightly.
What?
After they fix everything, and now
There's
everyone
more
thinks we've been
lies.
making a shitload of money in a
New
pocket
goal
of
as
space
well.
that no one can touch us in. Yeah, and no other player will believe you because it's EVE Online. So, yeah, that sucked. So that was cool to see. And the devs never actually put out a statement about this. They never told anyone that it was broken, so everyone thought we were lying about it, but we weren't, which was cool. So after that economic report came out, we're like...
Should the devs
Okay, that's
have
wonderful.
put out a statement
How do I
about
make
that?
money off depressed
Right.
people?
Basically, he wanted to remain in his own triangular tin shack in Mexico, but is getting angry when people move into his giggles sector.
Okay, they give him the $5. So he's expecting the devs to, like, talk about him in some meaningful way. Like, he wants attention from this, basically. Holy fuck, dude. If you listen to Pirate threatening that smaller guild in AOC, you can tell he fucking loves the power. He's addicted. Yes, exactly like the DMCA thing we saw. Exactly like he tried to pull with the smaller streamers in the World of Warcraft roast situation, right? But then unfortunately, bigger creators saw through it and he started to get fucking held to account for that. And this has led to this kind of tumbling downfall. Dude, oh my God. I cannot explain how happy I am that this is happening. That I've come back and people have dug further and they've looked into it more and they're now finding all these issues and discrepancies. Because I was doing exactly this before I went away. I was finding, like, you know, shorts of him talking and was just like, just intuitively, that sounds fucking bullshit. That sounds fucking stupid. And then lo and behold, you know, there's this. And he's talking about something I don't understand and can't intuit because I don't understand what he's saying. And this guy who seems to know what he's talking about saying, yeah, this guy's full of shit. This never would have happened if this dude had just been upfront and honest in regards to the roach stuff. None of this would be happening. No one would care to go and dig if he was just like, yeah, my bad, I fucked up. I roached, haha, let's make a joke out of it. Move on. Absolutely insane crash out that has led to this insane scrutiny. The summary of the TLDR, the DMCA issue for PirateSoftware, is that someone used one of his clips to use his voice for a developer's build of a game. PirateSoftware didn't realize it wasn't in the game that was on Steam, filed a copyright strike against the game that was on Steam and got it taken down erroneously when his voice wasn't even in the game. And even if it was, it would probably be fair use. That's the summary of the DMCA drama. And now he's getting absolutely taken to task by this nerd about this game.
Sure. And again, we're believing his word that they said nothing about it. I don't know if that's the case. I'd have to go through every single news put out by the devs for that many year period. I don't care enough, quite frankly.
We don't like roaches.
Exactly. Thank you for the $3.
Here's the reality. The devs don't have to do anything.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make
Okay.
money?
Yes.
They don't have to put out a statement that it's broken.
Yes.
Creators are houses of cards that collapse the second anyone looks at them at all. So weird that they survived so long before.
Thank you for the super chat. I'm worried about when you start digging into my skeletons and what you're going to find.
They don't have to do anything. If this area is broken, the players are going to find that out. The players are going to talk about it. And then the players don't have to be in that area because there's a near infinite amount of expanse you can go and do content in EVE Online. Okay? This is just... Is it frustrating? Yes. We're going to keep saying it this video. It's very frustrating to fight for an area of space then have it be broken. But the entitlement here, like, you don't work at the company, this guy. You know, it's about the spirit of how this video was made. And he's basically taking the devs and just like grinding them and saying, look how terrible they are.
Yeah,
Can you believe it? Can you believe how terrible they are?
Right.
And this is the problem I have with this, is that the devs don't have to say anything. The devs are not your boss at work. They're not your parent. They're not your buddy. This is a service you're buying. Now, we are more than welcome to give criticism to the game and to say with our voices, hey, this thing is broken. We shouldn't go into the area of space. So, hey, this thing is broken. I guarantee you this was all over Reddit. It's not like nobody knew. There's no way that nobody knew that Pochfin was broken. It was a brand new area of space. So the idea that all of a sudden people found out that Pochfin was a thing, I just don't buy that, okay? Because of how the information is flowing right now in EVE, This was only 3 or 4 years ago. It's not like it was 20 years ago when it just came out. So I don't buy that people just found out the Pochfin was broken and Pochfin is fixed. So, you know, let's keep on listening.
Jesus Christ, we started having to fight battles and it was super annoying, but we got good at it. We managed to close all the...
We gotta rewind that.
About it, but we weren't, which was cool. So after that economic report came out, we're like, Jesus Christ, we started having to fight battles and it was super annoying, but we got good at it. We managed...
After the economic report, we had to start fighting battles, and that was annoying. We're gonna talk more about that in just a sec. Just put a pin note in that. We're gonna talk more.
To close all the wormholes in our airspace because wormholes would open up at random. We could stop people from coming in, and the only other way you could get in was through a filament. Well, every one of these systems that was on our side of space and all around Pochfin would require a certain amount of reputation to get through the gate. If you didn't have the reputation, you couldn't get in, right? So you had to use a filament that would teleport you into one of these locations randomly. So you could show up on our store, like on our doorstep, or you could show up in an area where you couldn't get to us. And that was it. And if we controlled our wormholes, you couldn't get to us anyway, so we had a good counterplay. But we had to constantly maintain this sort of behavior. Every day, we had groups on the minute that wormhole would spawn.
Okay, this guy's about to explain it. It sounds like that's how you play the game. That's part of the game dynamic. And if you play it, you just got to accept that it's going to be like that sometimes, right? I'm guessing.
We would roll the wormhole. And this meant absolute regimented behavior. At all times, we had to be on staff. At all times, we had to have a scanner there and a group ready to destroy that wormhole when it spawned. And if we...
Dude. Yes. I can't think... Dude. I can't think of... I don't ever played a game like this, but I get the dynamic. And there's some games that are always on. And at any point, if you take it seriously, you need to have this set up. And that's just the way it is. And any serious group that is playing the game will have all of this stuff in place. And it's just part of the dynamic of the game. It's like a Rust base, isn't it? Yes, it's like a Rust base, okay? You have a Rust base, and if you're a clan and you take it seriously, you have plenty of material so the base doesn't degrade. And then you have someone on watch so that if someone tries to raid your base, you can load in and defend the base, right? You could message everyone and be like, quick, the base is getting raided, hop on. And then whoever's available hops on and defends the base. Right? That's the closest thing that I've played that I can think of. Yeah. Okay. Got it. Yeah, you want a cycle of people online if you're taking it really seriously. Especially if it's a hotspot. Yeah, okay. Yes! Yes, see? This is what's so beautiful about this, okay? Some gaming experiences are just universal, and you can play one game and then apply that to a game that isn't even the same sort of thing, you know?
We didn't do it, people would get in and kill us. So we got...
Eve players in chat, did what you just heard, does that describe endgame EVE Online life? For nullsec, for some lowsec, and especially wormhole space? Did what he just described, having to defend your borders from people that are coming in to take the ISK areas? Rifter, am I right, dude? Okay. First of all, he's correct. Once Pochfin was made, the only ways to get into Pochfin was two ways. Was the wormholes that would randomly blip in and out of existence. Think of these as opening and closing doors if you're a non-EVE player. Imagine a triangle-shaped house, and every day, certain doors would be open and certain doors would be closed. And if you would put enough people through that door, the door would close. That's called rolling the wormhole. If enough mass goes through the wormhole closes. So what he's saying is that once the MER came out, people started
off depressed people.
Basically a sector they treat like a hug box. In City of Heroes we knew when our supergroup base was vulnerable to raids, he didn't want it raided.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Thank you for the $5.
But how do I make money off depressed people?
EVE players have actual monetary incentive to play and maintain their in-game property.
Got it, okay.
Meanwhile, Reddit Ginnies do it for nothing.
True. Thank you for the super chat. I'm learning a lot. Dude, I feel like I should play an MMO. I feel like I would actually enjoy it if I got into it, you know?
Started paying attention because there's a bunch of ISK to be made in another endgame area, and we had to PvP fight, and we had to defend our borders. Ladies and gentlemen, the spirit he's painting EVE in is a very negative one. And this is my first main problem with this. In EVE Online, you don't deserve and are entitled to nothing. And if you want an area of space, you're going to have to defend it from people that want to take it. That's the game. Look, if you want to play an RTS with your buddies where you control your borders and you mess with stuff, you can go play Frostpunk. Fantastic game, not besmirching it, not putting it down. I don't know if besmirch is the right word. I didn't finish college, okay? You can go play a single-player RTS with your buddies if all you want to do is manage resources and mess with stuff. But if you're playing EVE, that's a good question, Jack.
Dude, this guy's actually learned out quite well.
Years ago, I randomly met an ex-Spetsnaz guy on EVE who helped me a lot and brought me to null second when I was 16 Lamau. Good times.
Thank you for the super chat. Dude, you forge some absolutely phenomenal relationships playing video games, you know. I think you think back fondly, don't you? You think back across your gaming life and all the people that you met along the way, you fall out of contact with them. What's the classic meme of, like, you go onto your Xbox 360 and it's like last online, 3,768 days ago, whatever the fuck it is, you know? Like 10 years ago they were last online. Great memories. Great memories. But yeah, times move on. Just think, the people that you're playing with now, eventually you'll probably stop playing with them. And you'll find new people to play with. The circle of gaming life.
That's a good question, Jack. If you're playing EVE Online, this is a game of dominance, of corporations, of friendships. And if you're going to say, I live in this space, you're going to have to defend it.
Yeah.
And his chat is saying, like,
I'm locked in now. At first I was a bit like, oh, I don't understand all of this. But now I feel like I'm getting it. I'm getting more locked in. And it only makes me more angry and furious with this fucking loser. PirateSoftware.
Like, terrible. Wow, can't believe that. What WTF? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to EVE Online. You have to defend your borders. That's the way of it. You defend it by PvP fights, and them making it so that now people know how valuable it is since they fixed it is not a bad thing. One more thing. So the EVE devs fixed it, and then they put it out in the monthly economic report. He was saying before, so the area of space was broken, and now that it's fixed, everybody knows about it, and people are showing up. Before, there wasn't a lot of ISK, but now there is, because they fixed it, more or less. So now there's people coming in, you gotta defend your borders. That's part of the game. If you don't want to have to defend the work you put out, there's plenty of other video games you can play. Maybe not World of Warcraft, okay, for this guy.
Got really good at it. We got very good at controlling our area of space, just like any other wormhole corporation would be. And then CCP, the creators of EVE Online, decided to change the rules. And they said, hey, we're going to focus on Pochvin for the next entire quarter of the game, which is the next 3 months. We're like, oh shit, they're going to fix some stuff. This is going to be awesome, right? Well, they didn't. They said the first thing we're going to work on is the access to the region. And we were like, that might be...
At the time of this, when all this was happening, this guy was a CSM. What that means is CSM is a Council of Stellar Management, something like that. These are players that the players elect to become representatives to the devs, to CCP Games. He was a CSM at the time. Character name is Mal Davies. You can go look this up, okay? He pushed for more access to the region. Did you hear what I just said? He pushed as a CSM that lives in Pochvin for more access to the region. And in this video, he's saying the developers of CCP Games increased the access. I don't understand. If I ask for cheaper bananas from the grocery store and then they give it to me and I complain about the banana, what do you want? I don't understand. So what he's going to say is they removed the rep requirements for these gates, which is not necessarily something he exactly pushed for, but he pushed for increased access to the area. So I don't know why this is, again, look at the spirit of what he's like describing. It's a negative thing. CCP Games, the creators of EVE Online, didn't fix anything.
I look so angry, Babka, because, well, actually I should be happy. I should be happy, really. Because this guy's getting exposed through every possible angle. Every single aspect of his character and what he's built himself up on is getting stripped down left and right and center. It's actually wonderful. The thing that I'm annoyed about is it just seems so fucking shitty that this guy is shitting on these game devs, and all they're doing is like trying to do the right thing in order to like help make everyone enjoy the game and have fun with it. Like, it just seems so rotten. It's like a really rotten behavior to engage in this way, you know? And also claims to be a game dev. So let's think about that in dual factors here. So he simultaneously, or not simultaneously, but he at one stage here is shitting on these game devs, and they're not, from what I could tell, doing anything wrong as far as I can see, okay? And then on another turn, there's a game dev that in his own build uses a clip of his voice, and PirateSoftware decides to DMCA him erroneously on Steam, even though that build isn't on Steam. How is this supporting smaller fucking, you know, developers as he claims to? You know, his whole thing is being this, like, you know, this kind of like faux, like, yeah, man, you should go and make something really cool. I'm doing a whole festival for people that make games. It's very clear that this guy wants to be at the kind of peak of power and the peak of attention and the peak of the ego, right? And if a smaller dev tries to prick that in any way, make a little joke at his expense, do a little soundbite at his expense in the game, he flips the fuck out, he spurgs out, and tries to use a legal process to crush them. So it's all false, it's all phony. He doesn't actually care about game devs. He doesn't think that you should build something awesome, right? It's build something awesome if you're going to worship me. Build something awesome if you're going to look up to me. Don't you dare try and mock me or I will fucking crush you. That is the kind of guy that he is. A fucking petty tyrant. Exactly like I said about this guy before. Seemingly backed up further with all the stuff we're seeing today. Just a petty tyrant. God, this guy, I fucking despise this guy, dude. I don't know what it is about him. I don't know what it is. I just find him very frustrating to look at and engage with. Maldavius Fig Tree, Maldavius Fig Tree, Maldavius Fig Tree. Google Maldavius Fig Tree.
They just made it easier to get in. If you know anything about EVE Online, the more people can get into an area of space, the more activity, the more people to fight, the more content, the more loot, the more stuff is in space, the more salvaging, the more industry, the more people in an area, the better. This is a good thing. More content is a good thing. That's why it's very concerning that this is the case. It's concerning that this happened, okay? That he was like, you know, doing this and going forward and backwards. So, let's keep watching.
Yeah, they just removed the reputation requirement on our gates. That was it.
All right, let me rewind so we can tell the full sentence. Okay.
Cool. Yeah, they just removed the reputation requirement on our gates. That was it. Suddenly, anyone in the game, anywhere in space, at any time, could teleport to our home. EVE Online is a game about distance. If you are far away from your opponent, they have inherent defensive capability because it's hard to get to them. We had no defense anymore, at all.
You have a defense, it's called players. I don't know how much this guy played EVE before. I actually don't know. Right, General Pony, you know? He's right, by the way, about this, that a natural defense is distance. But all of a sudden, people can get right our gates. Hear that, Jack? You see what's coming out, right? And he like it's our area. You don't own anything, dude.
Yeah,
you have to defend it. But you don't own.
It's our area, but only on the premise that you're able to defend it. It's not yours. It's not a God-given right that you have this area. God. Who is this guy? Loru Gaming. Bro, dude, this is exactly like when I found all the nerds talking about World of Warcraft, and I was just like, yes, I get it. Get his ass, dude. It's the same thing. I don't know anything about this, and this guy gets it, and he knows, and he's explaining it. He's like the EVE Online's grubby. Hey, Augie RC, thank you for your support. I believe I just saw that in my notifications. Let's have a look and see what this support that you've issued is, shall we? It's obviously my tweet about this. And Augie is saying in response, if a woman violates your fair use, is that permission to violate her consent? I mean, I'm going to have to disavow that one, I'm afraid. That's insane, dude. Thank you for your support in theory. But believe it or not, I'm going to want to try to avoid any rape-based threats in relation to this issue. Okay, I'm going to try and keep my nose clean, so to speak. Okay. But thank you nonetheless for at least the spirit of what you're trying to do there, okay? That is insane, bro. I'm laughing because of how disgusting it is. I'm laughing at how gross it is. Oh, God. How could you say something like that? That's horrible. I completely disagree. Just asking questions. Very typical for your ideology. Just asking questions about whether it's okay to rape.
Own it. You know what I'm saying? This is the problem, right? Lapsed in Sino. Now you can't Sino in Parchment. Okay? It's not a thing. Sinoing is another thing in low sec and null sec, where players that have big ships can blip without the need of a Stargate from system to system within a limited radius. Can't happen in Parchment. So, point is, CCP game devs.
I'm happy watching Maldavia's fig tree get caught after ouching out. Never liked the guy for a long time and found about Maldavia's fig tree here.
Thank you for the $5 Canadian. Appreciate it.
Removed the rep access on the gates, which, by the way, is something he pushed for. Now he's blaming them for it. Don't really get that. That's a...
Bro, yeah, dude, this is so true. Chud would relearn calculus if it gave another reason to felt pirate. I would fucking go... I would go and study for a year in something I'm not even interested in, just to understand it, so that I can adequately shit on pirate software. That's how much I fucking hate this guy, okay?
Whole other video, I guess. Then, when this happens, he's saying, boo-hoo, people came into the system and we had to defend it. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're a new player watching this, I highly recommend, if you're a new player, you mess around in high sec, which is like the Care Bear area of space, and then you go into either null sec, wormhole space, or Parchment. I recommend you go to an end game area, because you will learn so much about the game. Being in those areas of space, you will absolutely improve as a player. You'll improve because you'll be forced to do some PvP. It doesn't end. That's a good thing. Even if you're an indie player, you're going to be forced on how to avoid a gank. Just because you're not initiating a fight doesn't mean you're not PvPing, right? If all you want to do is just sit in an area in a space game and control your area and not have to fight for it, go play No Man's Sky. And I'm saying that again, not as a put down. No Man's Sky, one of the best games in a decade. Actually, not a hyperbole. Go play No Man's Sky with your buddies. You know, you don't have to besmirch a game and say that game mechanics are bad and you know, because this is how it sounds.
We had to defend our borders from other players that were they were trying to kill us.
This is how it sounds, okay? It's not good.
He's mugging him
because here's why it's not good. This video has 1 million views. Okay, 1 million views. This is a lot of people's only view of what EVE Online is, and he's describing it as an administrative nightmare, as a unfun experience. When he chose to stay in the bugged area, when he didn't be a good leader and lead his people out of area of space, and complains about basics in the game, player versus player action. Goodness gracious, dude.
Oh, people could just teleport to us and kill us at any time.
Dude,
and we went...
So, okay, I'm going to make it even simpler. Well, no, dude. Okay, perfect. Keep with the Rust example. Oh, Rust absolutely sucks, man. We built this massive base, and you got to keep someone online all the time. And then when you don't, someone comes in, and they rocket your wall, and they steal all your stuff, and they destroy your base. So they plug up your base so you can't get back in there. It's like the same dynamic, isn't it? It's like, that's part of the fun. That's what the game is supposed to be. The, you know, push and pull of, like, you know, raids, and you get destroyed, and you get a bit annoyed, but then you build it up again. Like, that's part of the, you know, the gameplay loop. That's exactly what it is. And he's complaining about that as if it's a bad thing. It's like, that's the point of the game. That's what it's designed for. You know, if you want to, you can go to a server with no players and go to a corner and build your own shit if you want and not have to worry about any of it, you know? That's crazy.
Well, time to have a war, and we had a war every single day for the next 2 months.
I will put a JMA if you play Rust. Is that what does that mean? Dude, there was talk of a potential Rust thing happening. I love Rust. Rust is fun, isn't it?
Now,
like the rest of EVE Online. Like the rest of EVE Online. I don't care if you're in high sec. If you're in high sec, you're still going to have to figure out how to defend your borders from high sec gankers or a specific kind of ganker. Okay, you still have to defend your area. There's ways to do it. So it's a lot of like stuff this is the spirit of it. Stuff happened to us, and there's nothing we can do. Time to, if there's more money in the area, if there was a monthly economic report that just came out that said there's a crap ton of ISK in the
Crowshitto. What is Crowshitto saying here in the Discord? The reason you're frustrated with him is because he's been propped up massively as his intellect, who knows just about everything when it comes to both AAA and indie game development, hacking, cybersecurity, gaming. Oh my god, that's such a good point. It's like, not just one topic, it's everything. He's an expert in a multitude of fields, apparently. And then anything else he has some knowledge or experience with. It's rare to find a creator who's been put in this position with their shorts and videos getting millions upon millions of views. And especially ridiculous to see the supposed experienced veteran with the literal name PirateSoftware push back against the consumer advocacy, stop killing games, along with indie devs and other creators poking fun at his expense with threats and bans and legal action. Yes, it's an undeserved success. He's not earned this. He's gamed the algorithm to push out his dog shit content. He's got a massive ego that he doesn't deserve. At least we get the pleasure in watching it get torn down, I guess. Yeah, we watched these the other day. These were fucking insane. Some of the fucking tall tales he was telling in these. Gee, that's a great explanation. Yeah, definitely. Crowshitto. Crowshitto in the Discord. God, it's so good watching him get wrecked, though. Very, very good indeed. The Mr. Robot stuff. I think someone did another video about that I saw, but I've already covered it. Yeah, he was fucking lying about the Mr. Robot show, disingenuously taking a puzzle from his blog to the point where the person that made it was allegedly like not happy with it, or he's making it seem that way. And none of it was true. It was nonsense. Just lying. Just fucking lying. Lying to his audience.
Area. And there's way more fights to be had. That's called recruitment, dude. It's called recruitment. You can use that to say, hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody, look, you saw the MER. The most ISK in the game probably is in Pochvin. They fixed the sites. There's a lot of PvP going. We need bodies. We need miners. We need people that are on the belt getting rocks. Relax. Okay, geez Louise, chat. I know Twitch chat. Okay, relax. We need people to help us get materials. We need people to help us with industry. We need people.
That wasn't what happened. Instead, it looks like what happened was from this guy complaining.
While this was going on, remember that one thing that I said with the dread sites that was our only form of income? There was an exploit that was found. The exploit was called seaguling. You could have 15 people in the group, and if you got to 16 people, that 16th person would make it so that all of the money that dropped, because it split evenly between people, wouldn't split evenly anymore. It would drop it by about 50% and then split evenly. So it crashed the shit out of our earnings.
He's right. This was an exploit that was found. They fixed the sites in terms of income and rep. And then an exploit came in, and I agree with you to a point, Flea Harvey. Okay, I'm glad you're here, Flea Harvey. Oh, so, ladies and gentlemen, a current CSM for Pochvin is in chat. Give me some 07s for Flea Harvey. It's great to see you, Flea. And we know who you actually are. Thank you very much for that. So, listen, this is a real talk, chat. Was it an exploit or not? I think you've seen that the way he's describing things tends to go towards the negative. So if I hold up an apple and I say, what's this? And he goes, oh, it's a bitter red fruit. Maybe don't listen to how this guy describes the game.
Oh my God, dude. He's nailed it.
He's so negative about this. And this is why I'm trying to make this video. We're correcting history, chat. I'm going to talk about that in just a sec. Okay, so this is an exploit that did happen. It was very frustrating. They were talking about it with the devs. The site wasn't being done as intended. Let's put it that way. And let's keep.
Yes, pathological liar. Yes, I think that's probably a fair description, right? This compulsive desire to just endlessly lie at every turn. And the other reason I think that this is so universal, even if you don't understand the concept of the topic, is we've all met someone like this. We've all met someone who just bullshits and lies and overstates and over, accounts for things they've done in their life in a way that is very clearly bullshit. Oh, yes, Mama Max. Yes, another example. Yes, exactly. Literally Elon Musk. Yeah, I guess that would probably work, isn't it? I don't want to get too political with it, okay? We're trying to keep it bright and breezy over here. But yeah, sure. God, dude. Okay, anyway, come on, let's get through this. I want to get to the DJ academic stuff as well.
Listening.
Player found out that if they go to the gate, which is kind of like the portal to the entrance of the dungeon, and shoot it, and then cloak up and fly away, they could then sit there cloaked until the NPC boss would say, "I'm gonna die."
Not really, but Nate, that's because you're a far-right individual who probably loves Elon Musk. Not his take on H-1B visas, though, I'd imagine.
And then they would just uncloak and they would count as the 16th player. When they removed the reputation standing for the gates, there were dozens of alts in every one of our runs. We went from making millions of ISK per player to thousands of ISK per player, which is the in-game currency. It destroyed
Yes,
us.
oh my god. Oh, dude, you guys have got such good takes on this as well. I just hate the fake heckin' positive vibe-arino. Yes, oh my god, that's so true. Hey guys, I'm so heckin' positive. Why don't you get out there and do something really cool and develop a game? I'm so supportive of that. What? You use my voice line in a way that mocks me? Have a DMCA, you fucking bitch. Get raped. It's so bullshit. Just be real. If this guy was a totally obnoxious prick, openly, to the point where he's like it all the time and didn't try to do the fake positive, I kind of respect it. I think that'd be funny. But it's not. It's the fake bullshit. He hides it behind this veneer of presentability because he wants to be looked up to. He wants this kind of like to sit at the top of the petty clout fiefdom, looking down on everyone and how good he is, you know? Exactly why he acted the way that he did in World of Warcraft. It goes deeper than the game. It's indicative of his personality and his worldview. He thought he could get away as a bigger creator with shitting on smaller streamers. He thought he could get away with fucking them over, but he didn't. And it's led to all of this now. Yes, what is that part about? He even over-exaggerates his work at the government. He worked at a company which had a contract for the government, and he betrays it as if he was a direct employee with the feds. Yes, I'd heard this. I've heard this floating around. And although he did do some work, it was on a contract basis for the government. So this narrative that he like worked as a hacking operative for the Department of Energy, was it, or something? Like, it was complete nonsense.
So we started
Do you see the lack of like accountability? The sites are broken. CCP Games fixes it. Okay. The sites are fixed. Now there's ways that players have found to play around it. So instead of them saying, now we have to gank the other alts, we have to come up with a system to get rid of the 16th player, right? We have to, there's so many ways to trap people in EVE. You can use warp bubbles. You can have, you can have one of your alts sitting there ready to go to kill off that other guy. Keep de-incentivizing the people from doing this thing. And who cares if you make less ISK if you keep on de-incentivizing them? If I sat down for like a day and had this problem, we could come up with some solution and get out and test. But do you see, and I'm going to read something in chat because you're totally correct. Jack says he's portraying everything that happened was an intentional and malicious attack on him. That's what I'm talking about. So has it not been fixed? I don't know, Brian. I have to go check it. But like, point is, my alliance lives in Ponchfin now. We do OBS, OBS all the time. We have no problem. We PvP, we fight for what we have to. We don't need to worry about this, okay? Right, bubble the gates. There's so many. It has been fixed. It was fixed years ago. There it is. So, and Flea Harvey is a current CSM in Podfin, so I would listen to him. So, chat, I wish no ill will on this guy. I really don't. I just want to correct a malicious lie that has been perpetrated that EVE is bad. That's the first lie. Because again, this video is many people's introduction to EVE Online, and it's just not true. Something that did happen, but has been misinterpreted in the public eyes in a negative light.
Bro, obviously these guys have got a different mentality to me and to you guys, whereas, you know, they're like, oh, good, you know, no ill will, come on. It's like, no, I've got ill will, definitely. This guy deserves to burn. In theory, not literally, his career deserves to burn, let's put it that way. Because of it being built on this faulty bullshit premise.
Porting this to EVE, like to CCP. We had over 300 reports in, we did this for months, and CCP never responded to it. So with all of this going on, with the game...
Ladies and gentlemen, listen. Remember I said you're entitled to nothing? You are not a game developer. This dude, not a game developer. So if you report something, you are not entitled to a response back. Would it be nice to like, hey, scene, sure, but you don't need to get anything back. You're not, and I'm saying you as like collective you, like including myself, you are not a part of the internal team. You don't get to dictate timings of things. So saying we had hundreds of reports and we all reported for months and they didn't say anything to us. Yeah, you're not entitled to like them talking to you, dude. You're just a player. Now,
Yes.
I'll play devil's advocate. This is all very frustrating stuff. What should he have done? He probably should have gone to play another game. Probably should have gone to gone to other things, gone on to other areas of space instead of, you report the bug, you move on. The goal of a video game is enjoyment. And if you are in an area of space that is broken, that the ISK, that the sites are being exploited by other game mechanics, whatever, time to go into another area of space. Saying I reported it.
Did what the other player? No, dude. Bro. This is like with World of Warcraft, reporting people that are just trolling him over his roaching shit. Remember what was it? Pirate did, you've been invited to join this thing Pirate did by playing Nothing Wrong. And he fucking reported them for like alleged mass harassment across loads of accounts. When it probably was just a one-off troll. All the people that he banned from chat, many of them coming in saying manager or blink, blink, blink. I don't know why that tickles me so much. Just going in and saying blink, blink and getting banned for that is crazy.
And my alliance reported it. We had hundreds of reports over months and they never said anything. First of all, I just don't believe that because after working with EVE Online devs myself, it might take like a month maybe to work with their GM team, but they'll get back to you. I just got done working with one and it took them a little bit of time. I'm not going to lie to you, but they got back to me when they were ready to get the ticket. We as players, there's a push and pull here. Okay. Let's talk about this in a healthy way. We as players enjoy the service that the developers have made. We enjoy it and we choose to put our time and effort and our attention into, I'm talking real macro stuff here, chat, into games that we enjoy as a community. If the devs are doing things that we don't like, we don't have to play the game. The power's with us. The money is with us. Okay? So if the devs are doing something you don't like, report it and keep moving.
Yes.
When it becomes a problem is when you're so invested in a game, in a system, that you feel entitled to the attention and the needs of the developers. I don't care if you're the richest person in EVE Online that has been playing since day one, if you have 5 trillion ISK, or you have a Python with a bunch of kill marks, right, Drake? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. You're still not entitled to developer time. You see this all the time on Twitter where like there'll be a change to like the game and people will tag the devs on Twitter and like send them mean things and like, anybody sending threats to somebody over a video game is a small person, chat. They literally need help. They actually need to go out and touch some grass. We all agree, any normal person agrees, getting that worked up about a video game is just bad. You need to go.
Well,
chat,
no, he's right. I was going to say, because I do get worked up about stuff, but then I try and see the funny side, personally. I try and have a laugh about it, Like, you die in Warzone and you immediately get annoyed and you try to have a laugh about it. So, I think that's the key. That's the key. I think it's fine to get worked up. It's when you get worked up and you stay mad. That's the issue. That's the problem. And I think that's what this guy struggles with. He just, Maldavius Fig Tree struggles with just getting so angry and then he can't calm down and he just lashes out and spurgs out about it, Chud definitely had the N-word at people. I mean, dude, I was playing the other day and I got a full-blown argument with someone because they died in ranked and like they were moaning about me not getting them back straight away. It happens, okay?
I'm in therapy now. Okay? Therapy's great. Really awesome. It helps to talk to a neutral third party and work through some of the stuff you're going through because, the people that are sending these violent things to the developers, it's just evil. There's no other way to put it. It's just wrong. That's the same kind of entitlement we're seeing displayed here, but at a way worse thing. But that kind of stuff starts here, where it's my Stargates, my area of space.
Oh,
we submitted tickets for months and they didn't talk to me. You're not entitled to anybody's attention, dude. Okay?
Game mechanics being changed to be against us. With them not fixing any of the exploits, I called it. And I said, enough is enough, guys. We've been fighting every day for months. This is bullshit. The devs aren't listening to us. It's time to burn it down. And we did. We burned our own home to the ground. We actually linked up with all the other Triglavian alliances in the game that were smaller than us, and we destroyed everything.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at the lie.
Oh, yes! Okay! So there's going to be some provable bullshit, hopefully.
Arrived at the lie that we must correct. The rest of this is tone and spirit of what he's saying. We've arrived at the lie.
Exploits. I called it, and I said,
I called it. I called it. Wait, let me say it like him.
I called it.
Yes, get him.
No,
get
he
his
didn't.
ass.
No, he didn't. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the lie. I have first-hand knowledge. Pirate Software was not the person that called it. Just to be clear, he did. His alliance was one of the big three Parchment alliances at the time, and his alliance did burn down the structures in the area as protest with the other alliances. That did happen. This is a very cool story. That this did happen in protest of the devs and of the problems in Pochfin. The players destroyed their own structures so that they didn't have to deal with constantly repairing them and repping them and reffing them, as these are EVE terms, okay, and protecting them. Because the area of space was broken, so the whole triangle, all the big alliances decided, hey, we're going to burn these down. The lie is that Pirate Software decided to do it. That I called it.
with all of this going on, with the game mechanics being changed to be against us, with them...
Classic Pirate Software. Wanting to be the center of attention. Wanting to be the hero. Wanting to be the guy that everyone looks up to. I did it.
Kinda sad that at his age he has yet to learn that he is not special and the world does not revolve around him. Spoiled Nepa sped.
Yeah, dude, it's like, I don't want to be an armchair psychologist here, right? But like, there's got to be something behind that. There's got to be some sort of mental thing behind that. Like, there's no way that this dude that isn't normal behavior to be that egotistical. It's like a narcissism thing maybe or something. Nepo baby can't cope with real life. True. Like an egomaniac, narcissistic at worst. Yeah.
I'm not fixing any of the exploits. I called it, and I...
No, he didn't. And you might say, Loru, sounds like they all kind of decided. I have first-hand knowledge that other people ideated this. Other people decided it and were already burning down their structures. And when Pirate Software's Corp saw that this was going on, he started talking to him, and then he decided to do it with his Alliance and Corp. He decided nothing.
Right, okay.
This is important because this game is about the stories. This game is about the players. And by saying in a video with 1 million+ views to these people that will never play EVE Online, he's effectively taking away the onus and the authority of all the other players that were actually in the area doing what they were doing, okay? Why it's important who decided it, Brian, is because it wasn't him. It's a revisionist version of history that makes himself look more important.
Yeah.
That makes himself look tall when he wasn't even the guy who thought of the idea.
Yes.
This is the first lie, okay? This is the first problem with this. That if you're going to be...
Yes. Oh, dude. Oh, this is so good. I'm so glad the Pirate Software stuff did well on the channel. Because it justifies more shitting on him, and I'm all in for that. I'm all in. I'm all in on Pirate Software. He's a compulsive liar, self-centered, his delusions of grandeur, and is terribly insecure all lines up. Yep.
Standing on the shoulders of giants to make yourself look tall, then man, you better tell the truth. The reality is this. This guy used the stories of others in this instance to make himself look bigger, okay? We're not saying we're not going to hold the devs to their mistakes. We're not saying we're not going to do something and that you shouldn't burn down the area. I think this is a pretty cool story, that because of the, call it lack of attention of the developers, I think we can say that for fair, that was happening. The entire area decided to burn down their own structures, okay? Saying it was me, I decided, that's the problem. This is the lie. There was plenty of other players in Pochfin, plenty of other players that were having the same struggles. He didn't come up with this. He didn't start it, but he's taking credit for it. Why? What does the Prophet Cat Williams say? I don't know why liars lie, but they lie. Ladies and gentlemen, the truth is important, and the truth will set you free.
Us. With them not fixing any of the exploits, I called it. And I said, enough is enough, guys. We've been fighting every day for months. This is bullshit. The devs aren't listening to us. It's time to burn it down. And we did. We burned our own home to the ground. We actually linked up with all the other Triglavian alliances in the game that were smaller than us, and we destroyed everything that we owned in the entire region. And no one could ever have it again because it wasn't replaceable. We burned it to the ground.
It's a pretty cool story, right?
So PirateSoftware, I just fucking hit my foot and it really hurt. It's fine, I'll survive. Don't worry, guys, I'll survive. God, dude, he obviously relies on the fact that even if there's some people in his audience who are going to know EVE Online, they're going to be outspoken and overwhelmed, or possibly banned even, but, you know, overwhelmed by everyone else that is just going to be cheering him on. So he is going to rely on the fact that people don't know the ins and outs of this, and it sounds like quite a complicated game. And you need someone explaining it that knows why this is kind of bullshit and whatever to actually get it. But if you're just sat there and you just watch PirateSoftware because of his shorts, you're going to be like, and you know, people have a general thing of like, well, you believe someone when they talk about something, right? Why would they lie about something like this? It's so absurd. You don't realize they're a compulsive liar. So they're just going to sit there like, wow, that's so cool, PirateSoftware. Yeah, you're so amazing. Blah, 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 blah. You know? But then there's, I can imagine the r/Eve Reddit probably does hate this guy and the shit that he says, but people aren't going to see that. But then when the roach stuff happens, then the scrutiny starts, and then the audience sees that, yeah, this is going way better than I expected it to. I had no idea I was going to come back to him getting so utterly raped and feased at every turn, dude.
Okay,
it's so
wonderful.
based.
But how do I make money off depressed people?
Like a true cockroach, he too seems hard to get rid of for good.
Very true. Thank you for the super chat. Trust the plan. Trust the vision. I had a vision about this. I had a vision about talking about this guy, and it just seems to have fucking gone insane.
Like, think about it like this. What other video game have you ever heard where the players have this kind of onus, have this kind of authority, have this kind of story, right? I can't really think of that many. Like, maybe Ashes of Creation, but that's still, what is it, alpha, beta? Anyway, I don't really follow the game. How he's describing this is that he's some mastermind that like came up with this big bad plan, and then everybody else followed suit. That's how this feels and sounds, and that's not what happened. He was the guy that followed.
As a protest. And it worked. It worked really well. Everyone took notice, we left that area of space, and we went back out into high-sec space. And then new players moved into...
I'm sorry. High sec. More your speed, PirateSoftware? Don't gotta defend those border, do you? Let's go. Look, if you guys wanted to do that, why did you just go there, right? Just go to high sec. Why we gotta do this rigmarole, you know? Sheesh, dude.
High sec.
Pochman, and they had to live out at NPC station.
High sec. High security, is that? I don't fucking know, dude.
You know what they did? They reported the same goddamn vulnerability that we did. The same exploit. And you know what CCP did? They said, I thought that was just a Strybog problem.
Oh, high security, presumably meaning that, yeah, you don't have to defend it yourself. There's like guards. Okay, yeah, okay. Dude. We're figuring it out. We got educated on World of Warcraft. Now we're getting educated on fucking EVE Online to further shit on this loser. Let's go.
All right, I gotta rewind this, because here we go to the second lie.
The same goddamn vulnerability that we did.
I gotta go back further.
And then new players moved into Pochman, and they had to live out at NPC stations. You know what they did? They reported the same goddamn vulnerability that we did. The same exploit. And you know what CCP did? They said, I thought that was just a Strybog problem.
All right, Strybog is their alliance. I don't believe this happened. I believe that more players joined the area and started reporting the exploit more. That I believe. I don't believe the devs said, I thought this problem was only specific to this alliance. Here's why. He's one of 3 alliances, big alliances. There's other ones, but there's the 3 biggest ones in the area. You're telling me that only your alliance was reporting that bug? No. Publicly available information says that's literally incorrect. There have been podcasts and Talking in Stations is an EVE Online podcast where they had...
You're wrong, Chud. I for one knew the moment I saw his shorts he lies to make himself look better. He's ready to wholesome 300 vibreaks of falsehood.
No, but that's because you're a based viewer that watches me. So clearly... No, there's obviously some people that would have figured it out. You know, but dude, oh God, dude. Well done you, okay? Sorry, I missed that. Down the rabbit hole, did 8-hour vid with a year of research just to accurately document the history of EVE Online. That's crazy. Sorry, I got distracted. I missed that.
They did? They reported the same goddamn vulnerability that we did. The same exploit. And you know what CCP did? They said, I thought that was just a Strybog problem.
All right, Strybog is their alliance. I don't believe this happened. I believe that more players joined the area and started reporting the exploit more. That I believe. I don't believe the devs said, I thought this problem was only specific to this alliance. Here's why. He's one of 3 alliances, big alliances. There's other ones, but there's the 3 biggest ones in the area. You're telling me that only your alliance was reporting that bug? No. Publicly available information says that's literally incorrect. There have been podcasts and Talking in Stations is an EVE Online podcast where they had the 3 heads where all of them are frustrated. All of them are talking about it. They have the 3 in do I have this video? Do I have it here for you? In this video, I'll link it in chat for you. Okay.
Oh my god. I bet this dude's a fucking dab hand at EVE Online, isn't he? He's probably the best. He's probably the best. He's probably the best player there, I'd imagine. One would have thought.
There's the 3 Parchment Alliance heads at the time, and this is from 3 years ago. You're going to see that all 3 of them are frustrated. Opus 072, what's up, buddy?
Off depressed people.
Just a thought, but maybe devs are more likely to help when they are not being demanded and extorted by some tard. Plus, looks like more people reported it.
Thank you for the $10.
All 3 of them are frustrated. All 3 of them have been reporting this, and Opens actually very correctly gets very upset about the seagulling and about what's going on because it was very frustrating. So again, the line is, my alliance has been reporting stuff. My alliance has been ignored. Nobody, and the devs aren't listening to us. And then once a bunch of new players join the triangle, then they fix it. Ladies and gentlemen, if they put out a monthly economic report saying that the area is lucrative, this is going to pull in a crap ton of more people to the area. Okay? Those people are going to give a report about an exploit. If there's a problem that keeps subsisting, the amount of reports are going to increase. So if there's 300 reports versus over here, there's a bug with 5,000, the devs are going to work on the 5,000 bug report, not the 300 bug report. As more players come to Parchment, more reports get hit. This means the devs are going to prioritize that more. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't believe that the dev said, I thought it was a Strybog problem, because all 3 alliances have been reporting this. All the other alliances have been reporting this was a thing. I don't believe that happened. The line of, we've been reporting this, and they did nothing about it, and then once new players came in, then they fixed it, oh, woe is me, while he's lashing himself. I don't believe that that's what happened either, as far as the spirit of it. Did literally more people come to the triangle, more reports happen, and then they fixed it happen? Yes. But making it about himself, making it this victim thing, that's not what happened. My goodness, it's not just about you.
Which was our guild, and then they fixed it. I left the game. I'm never going to play EVE again.
By the way, Strybog. Let's talk about Strybog for just a second, okay? So with all the drama going on around PirateSoftware, yeah, we're going to Reddit. You know I don't like Reddit, but here we are, okay, ladies and gentlemen, sheesh. PirateSoftware EVE stories. This came out 4 days ago as of this. I want to talk about Strybog for just a second. Right now, I was perusing this. The Strybog Discord has an F off Maldavius emoji.
Oh, I saw this somewhere. I don't know where. I'd heard about this. So apparently he was so disliked by his own crew or group or whatever that they actually made an emote. Can we get it? I want a piece of that. I want a piece of that action.
Real thing. Okay, it's real in their Discord. F off Maldavius. Ladies and gentlemen, the actual alliance that he's talking about has an emote saying F off. Jant, do you think that they remember him fondly?
Doubt it.
Do you think that he's respected in that alliance? Do you think that he's liked in that alliance? I don't think so. And to be clear again, I don't wish negativity on this guy because he lied. I just want the truth to come out.
No!
He's saying that the dev said, I thought it was...
I think sometimes when I hear stuff like that, it just reminds me of how psychotic the whole, this area, this side of the internet is. Because you guys are like, no, fucking... Ah! But normal people are just like, I don't want any hate. I don't want hate to go this guy's way. I mean, to be fair, I do say, don't brigade, don't harass. So maybe that's the same thing. But just, you're allowed... I just think you're allowed to hate. You're allowed to think in your head that I hate this guy. That's allowed, okay?
Strybog problem. I don't think that's true. He even brings their name into it. Well, since you're bringing their name into it, I'm going to let the truth be shown. They clearly don't want to be associated with you anymore because they have this kind of thing. We can really extrapolate a lot out from just one emoji. It's that important. Okay, let's just keep moving.
Problem, which was our guild, and then they fixed it. I left the game. I'm never going to play EVE again. That kind of behavior is so above and beyond awful for the players. I can't get behind it. Like, I can fight another player. I can even fight another player's wallet, and we did many times in EVE. But I'm not going to fight the devs. That's bullshit. That's completely bullshit.
The narrative of this video that I'm trying to fight against is a couple things. This is many people's first view of EVE Online, okay? It is a subjective view and a very...
Never again. Just completely... Dude. It's not even... Like, obviously, it's super shitty for the developers of this game. I mean, I'm guessing that EVE Online is developed by, like... Probably, like, a bunch of nerds. I don't know if it's, like, an indie game per se, but it comes across as, like, very much a labor of love. I would have thought, no? And he's just totally shitting on it. But then also, there's people that might enjoy the game that are getting talked out of it with this bullshit take. So there's people that are like, could have a good experience playing this, and because of this guy's, you know, bitter, pathetic rant about it, would like not give it a go. Terrible. Tiny team for the size. Yeah, I can imagine, yeah. Okay.
A bitter view of what actually happened. I have nothing but positive interactions with the EVE devs. You don't have to fight the EVE devs. You don't have to view the world as something that is owed to you, and then if it doesn't bow before you, everything is terrible. That's how this video reads and plays, and I hope that we understand something bigger here. There were some questions in chat about why does it matter who did what, and why does it matter how the stuff was said. It matters because EVE is about the stories.
Yeah.
EVE is about the players.
Yep.
EVE is about the people that make up this game and the stories that will make it great. And if someone is perpetuating a lie about their importance on things, that matters because you've taken away the onus of the players that were actually there, saying, our alliance reported this bug and nobody fixed it. And then when new players came in and then they fixed it, it wasn't just them reporting the bug. There was 2 other alliances reporting the same exploit bug, whatever you want to call it. It's not just about this person. It's about everybody. It's about the collective. And that's something I think PirateSoftware can learn from. So, you know, EVE Online is a great game. And we put out a ton of EVE guides on our YouTube channel, even if you're a new bro, a new pilot, a new capsuleer, as we call them. Come on in. You can check out that playlist right here. If you want more guides, this is probably the only drama video we're ever going to make because I need to correct this, but we're not a drama channel, okay? We're about infotainment here. So sub right here if you want some EVE infotainment. We'll see ya in the next video.
Dude, he is like Grubby. Grubby is the same dynamic. Grubby isn't really... Dude, he's the Grubby of EVE Online. You love to see it. I think I'm good, thanks. Well, obviously, I'll link the video. I mean, I doubt, unless you're into EVE Online... I mean, if you're into EVE Online, you probably know about this guy already.